Hello, welcome to Pondo Dreams. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Tuttle Twins book series and the downloadable activity workbooks that are also available for purchase. Let's get started. So I kept seeing these books pop up on my feed on Facebook. I usually don't really pay much attention to ads, but this just kept jumping out at me, and it got brought up in one or two of my Facebook homeschool groups. People saying, hey, have you seen this? Did you order it? And I saw some people saying that they had ordered it and they liked it. So I jumped in and I ordered it. And there are two types of books written about the Tuttle Twins, and this is their brother and sister here on the cover. There's the 12 children's books, and I think that they're still being added to. I'm pretty sure that they're writing more. And there's currently 3 books for teens. They're called Choose Your Consequence, which we will most likely add if we do enjoy these. So I got the package that had the 12 children's books, their paperbacks, and also included downloadable PDFs of the activity workbooks, which I just found in these report covers that I got at Dollar Tree. So let's take a look through the 12 books. The very first one is called The Tuttle Twins Learn About the Law, and each book is based upon a book that was written for adults. This one uses Frederick Bastiat, The Law, as the guide for it, and it covers what are individual rights, where do they come from. They have a school project from their teacher where they need to talk to somebody, with a wise person. They need to interview them. So they select their next door neighbor, Fred, and he talks to them about the law. He talks to them about what is important about the law, how the law affects us daily. The bad guys in government, they don't wear capes or look like villains. They're just normal. They say things a lot of people like. There's good guys too. Just trying to clarify like how the law does affect us in our day-to-day life. This is about the length of each book. It's really readable in one session. And you could break it into 2 if you needed to, if you have kids that don't like to read in quite as long of a spans. And then at the end of each book, they'll have a glossary of terms, and they have some discussion questions. There are 6 discussion questions that are included, but it just says don't forget the activity workbook. So let's take a look at that. And like for an instance on discussion questions on what level you can expect, and these are great for a wide variety of ages. Why is it important to listen to your conscience? What rights do you have? What are some examples of laws, true laws that protect us? So that is the book. And then the activity workbook they're about 18 to 20 pages. They have an introduction. They have some coloring pages that you could do with your kids if they're into coloring. There's some writing practice. There's a few different challenges of drawing something or doing a maze, word searches, crossword puzzles, decoding messages, connecting dots, word scrambles. You can play bingo. You can cut these cards out. They can listen to, as you read, they can search for keywords that are on here and mark them with a coin or an M&M. There's just like different activities, Mad Libs, service. There's an interview, group discussion. So these are different questions that are in the book already. These have things like, where do our rights come from? What are rights? Do you have the right to take somebody else's property? There's lots of great things for having a good conversation with your kids about what they're learning in these books. There's a writing assignment, and you can tailor this to a variety of ages. It says in 300 to 400 words. So you could really just kind of just give a challenge based on their age. They have some application of what you have learned in the book. How can you apply this in your day-to-day life? So like a local reporter finds out the congressman from your district secured an earmark for his friend's company, giving $2.5 million in taxpayer money to them. The congressman argues it was necessary to help create jobs and boost the local economy. And in the long run, long run, it will help everybody in the community as he write. There is just some really great things for the kids to think through and talk through with you in these books. And they'll tell you a little bit about the book. And you get a recipe at the end of each of one of these workbooks that pertains to the book. And this one is Mrs. Lopez's Chocolate Chip Cookies. Okay, so let's take a look at the other 11 books. I'll go a little bit faster for you. The next one up is The Miraculous Pencil. And in The Miraculous Pencil, they cover what is a free market, why is it so important. You get to learn how pencils are made, what parts they come from around the world. There's, again, the same challenges here. We have Pencil, a Global Project, where they talk about all the different places pencil material, just something as simple as a pencil, all the different places around the world that contribute to what you're using in that pencil. And your recipe for this book is eye pancakes. Next book is The Creature from Jekyll Island. And in this one, it covers the history and nature of money, banking, inflation, bartering, savings. So we get into that with the kids. We have a honeycomb maze. And I didn't print out all the coloring pages for each one because my kids are just not really much into coloring anymore. And we already have a lot of copy work. So I skipped those and the rest of them. I printed it out for the law so that you could see it. Here, there's a build a business. And it gives you a step-by-step. You need to come up with your business idea. What makes your idea unique? Why are people going to buy it? Who's going to be your customers? Where will you sell your product or service? For how much money? How are you going to advertise? What's it going to cost to start up your business? And what profit will you make? So there is so much in here for kids to really dig in deep. I'm actually looking forward to going through this series with my kids a lot this year. And the recipe in this book is Fairground Food, which appears to actually be a funnel cake. That one should go over well here. The Food Truck Fiasco is book 4, and the twins are trying to gain public support for the food truck vendors in their town by overturning some laws that got put into place unfairly by a competitor who's got friends in the local government, and he got his friend to put some things into place that would make it impossible for any food truck to actually be able to operate in their town. And so that you get to create a food truck in this one. And there's a pizza recipe to make together at the end of that one. And the next book is book number 5. We have The Road to Serfdom. And this talks about when people get what they wish for, a lot of the times you're going to get more than what you bargained for. So, again, most of the same things throughout. They tell you about the book that it's based upon. And you can check that out as an adult, or if you've got older kids, you could have them read those books. We have frozen bananas for the recipe here. But yeah, you could really, there's unintended consequences. There's a great, you could spend, I'm probably going to do 1, maybe 2 of these a month, and just give us time to kind of work through all these things, especially the ones where they have things where you can work on starting a business. I don't want to rush through those, so we're going to really take our time, read the book, and then just really take our time going through the activity workbooks. The next one is The Golden Rule, which is a universal principle that we're all familiar with, and it's always worth revisiting. So that is the subject, and the recipe is No Fire S'mores. Book 7 is The Search for Atlas, and what happens when hardworking people quit, and how we need to practice personal responsibility and not have a sense of entitlement. Oh goodness, we have more funnel cakes. Wow, we're just going to be swimming in funnel cakes this year. All right, circus style funnel cakes. So we have a whole different way to make those. Yum. Then we have Show Business, the Tuttle Twins and their spectacular show business. And this is how does a child become an entrepreneur? It's not easy. And so we have Planning Your Business here. And another workbook where they get to really work through and come up with a business plan. So I like that they keep giving them templates, creating a network, how you can become an entrepreneur, but how you can network using the family members, friends, neighbors, people to put into action what kind of business you might be interested in doing. And the recipe for this one is homemade ice cream. All right, next up, book number 8 is The Tuttle Twins and the Fate of the Future. And this one is about thinking of ways that we can work together peacefully to build a better society without coercion. And so we talk about persuasion versus coercion in here, putting in a definition below the drawing about what the difference is between the two. You have your Lego future, and then Anatomy of the State was the book it's written about or based on, and we have a recipe for Mandazi. Book number 10 is The Tuttle Twins and the Education Vacation, and this one talks about education works best when we have our freedom to discover what our interests are and to develop our own abilities instead of being kind of forced into what somebody else wants for you, which, forget what not, what's wrong with grading, decode the message, and we have a recipe, pardon me, for macarons. Yum. I think it's going to be really fun. That'll probably be a nice fun Friday thing to do, is then at the end of working through all of this is to make the recipe that kind of goes with it. And then a very last one, I said there was 12. I'm sorry, there's 11. The very last one is the Tuttle Twins and the Messed Up Market. I guess I'm wishing there's a 12th one, and I bet there will be soon. So the Tuttle Twins and the Messed Up Market is they come up with the Children's Entrepreneur Market to help them be able to help other children out who might need to borrow some money to build their own small business. And that's not always an easy task to do. As we all know, the market is full of risks. Whether it's the stock market or one that they start here like this. And the recipe for this one is some gourmet hot chocolate. Hopefully we get to that during winter time. So that is the 11 books, not the 12 books, of the Tuttle Twins series. And they run a special a lot, I've noticed, where they are including the PDFs for the workbooks, and I really think that the workbooks are worth getting. If you are interested in these, I would look at getting that. Hopefully you learned a little something in this video. Let me know if you have used these books. If you liked what you saw, please give the video a like and subscribe to see future content. Thanks for joining me today.